It's 3 a.m. at a pitch-black airstrip in Washington State. A 17-year-old kid is sitting in the pilot's seat of a locked Cessna 182 he just broke into. He has zero pilot training. He's never legally driven a car, let alone flown an aircraft. Everything this kid knows about flying comes from a video game, Microsoft Flight Simulator. That is it. He remembers the YouTube videos. He remembers the stolen flight manuals, battery on, fuel pump, mixture rich, throttle cracked. He pushes the throttle forward. 50 knots, 60, 70. He pulls back on the yoke, and the wheels leave the tarmac. Colton Harris Moore, a high school dropout wanted by police in 3 counties, is airborne. Over the next 2 years, he won't just steal 1 plane, he'll steal 5, becoming the most wanted teenager in American history. How does a kid learn to fly from a computer game? And why was he running in the first place? To understand how a 17-year-old becomes a master thief of the skies, you have to rewind. Colton wasn't running to somewhere. He was running from a nightmare. Growing up, his father vanished, and his mother battled severe addiction. There were holes in the walls of his house, no heat in the winter, and most nights no food. By age 8, Colton was stealing bread and soup just to survive. The system failed him. Teachers saw the bruises and the hunger, but nobody stepped in. By 13, he was breaking into wealthy vacation homes, not to steal TVs, but to find a warm place to sleep where nobody would hit him. At 14, he escaped juvenile detention and ran into the freezing, unforgiving Pacific Northwest wilderness. He chose the wild because the forest didn't yell, it didn't drink, it didn't hurt him. He became a ghost, surviving in the woods and vanishing for weeks. But living like a ghost gets lonely, and eventually you need a way out. In 2006, Colton broke into an empty vacation home, but he didn't take cash. He went straight for their PC. For 16 hours straight, he played Microsoft Flight Simulator. He crashed the virtual plane hundreds of times, and every time he crashed, he learned. He started sneaking into unlocked airport hangars at night, stealing real flight manuals and reading them by flashlight in the woods. Why planes? Because Colton had a brilliant realization. The cops had roadblocks and dogs, but they were all looking at the ground. Nobody was watching the sky. Fast forward back to that first flight in 2008. Colton is 5,000 feet in the air, but the sun is coming up. He has to land. Remember, in the game, if you mess up, you hit restart. In real life, you die. He spots a cracked airstrip in Idaho. The wheels slam into the pavement, the plane bounces, skids off into the grass, and nearly flips. But it stops. He just flew 300 miles across state lines undetected. He cracked the ultimate cheat code. When the heat gets too high, steal a plane, cross the border, and vanish. Think about this. The entire FBI is being completely outsmarted by a teenager whose only flight instructor was a computer monitor. It is absolute insanity. If you're hooked on this game of cat and mouse, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe right now. You do not want to miss how this ends. July 2010, Indiana. Colton is now 19 and the net is closing. Half the country is tracking the Barefoot Bandit. He needs to pull off his biggest stunt yet. He breaks into an airport at 2 a.m., steals $1 million Cessna, and aims the nose toward the Bahamas. He is attempting to fly over 1,000 miles across the open Atlantic Ocean. Single-engine plane, at night. No co-pilot, no radio, no GPS. He is navigating by compass and the stars. If he miscalculates his fuel, or if the engine stalls, he's dead. There is no forest to crash into, just a long, dark drop into the ocean. He flies for 7 grueling hours. The fuel gauge drops closer to empty, but as the sun rises, he sees it. Turquoise water. He actually made it. He finds an empty beach on Great Abaco Island and braces for impact. The wheels hit the soft sand, the plane violently noses forward, and the propeller explodes into shrapnel. Colton kicks the door open. He is 1,000 miles out of American jurisdiction. The final chase. But here is the fatal flaw in his master plan. The Bahamas isn't a vast wilderness. It's a tiny island, and everyone knows everyone. Within hours, the FBI sends his profile to Bahamian authorities. A massive manhunt begins. Trapped, desperate, and starving, Colton makes one last gamble. At 3 a.m., he steals a docked speedboat and races out into the pitch-black ocean to find another island. But the police are waiting. Heavily armed patrol boats swarm him. Lights flashing, sirens wailing. Colton pushes the throttle to max to outrun them, but the boat starts sputtering. He didn't check the fuel. The engine coughs and dies. Surrounded by guns, spotlights, and the deafening sound of police megaphones, the boy who conquered the sky finally surrendered to the sea. Colton Harris Moore was extradited to the U.S., pleaded guilty, and served 6.5 years in federal prison, proving that sometimes the most impossible things are actually possible if you have absolutely nothing left to lose. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of Colton's wild story in the pinned comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.